There was a lot of noise. I was a kid in the middle of an extinction. I didn't remember anything. I saw a big ship in front of me. It was huge and had the shape of a tower. I thought it was 900 kilometers long, full of lights and big rockets at the bottom. I was so distracted by it that I didn't realize I was chained to a big creature with a horrible stench. It looked like a dinosaur with a lot of hair. Behind me, there were a lot of other kids chained too. I was staring in horror when a soldier suddenly hit me in the face. Hurry, slave, the ship is going to take off. After a long walk, I realized that the floor and the buildings of that place were burning. The lava was emerging from the floor. I had to get out soon. After entering on the ship, I think we walked for about 3 hours before reaching the floor 300. There was a big room in the center, a big pyramid-shaped building coming from the floor. The soldier that warned us made me sit on a secure chair with safety belts. It was an ugly place, like a prison. After a few hours, a nasty sound started. It meant that the machine was taking off. The ship was taking the human race out of the earth. After a long year of hard work, repairing machinery and cooking, I finally understood. Me and my partners of duty were different from the other humans. I heard stories of the years before the big extinction of the earth. Some of them were intriguing. A big nuclear plant was destroyed in the Fifth World War. The radiation reached the whole Earth, and children were born with green skin and without nose. Not long after, a new human race began. I didn't remember my earlier days before the launch of the ship, but I already knew that I was different from the other humans. 10 long years passed while I was working as a slave. When something happened, one member of our race decided to start a revolution. We started to destroy important structures of the ship, trying to get attention from the captain of the ship. Then the war started. My first mission was to find and secure artifacts from the engineers of the southern part of the ship. My squadron and I had to take a small ship from a mail company that sent supplies. The plan was to trick the engineers and make them believe that we were the mail service and take the prize. Our commander told us that this technology was valuable, but he didn't tell us anything else. I used to think that it was a suicide mission, but I had to stay calm and make my work. The day started. My partners and I were sent to the mail company. We entered a big hole that was in the back of the building. That place was clean. It was the cleanest place that I have ever seen. It was because a cyborg with a not very pleasant appearance was hitting and forcing smaller creatures to keep the place clean and the ship running. We were so hungry. We had to do something about it. But my partners only wanted to complete the mission. We started to argue. I just could not allow this. One of them hit me in the face, and I fell. That creepy cyborg started to attack me. I tried to enter the small ship to save me from the bullets. I remembered that years ago, during training, our coach taught us how to drive that kind of small ship. With science, I only had done it during simulations. I crashed it in a lot of places and accidentally hit a fuel tube. The whole place was on fire. I tried to save my partners, but the explosion wasn't very far. I could only save one of my partners. The other disappeared with the first explosion. We reached a window before the whole company exploded. I felt horrible. All the creatures and my partners died on that explosion. When I got to the base, I got an award because I destroyed the only company that was allowed to send supplies to the whole system. It was an important movement to end the oppression of our people, but I didn't feel good. A lot of innocents died because of me. Next day, I was sent in the ship that we stole from the company. The engineers of the southern part of the ship didn't know that the company was destroyed. It was a short trip. The ship had a road system that makes reaching their destination easier. When we got the southern part of the ship, I saw a big tower there. It was the equipment that we needed. The first part of the plan was perfect. We entered by the storage exit. We began to search our prize. I had to punch a lot of guards, but after a long search, we found the main lab. It was on the top floor. There was only a scientist. He didn't make a move. He only scratched. You don't know what you are doing. You are making a great mistake. It looked like he was working on a strange time machine. But why was he so scared? We asked the base for help. That machine was so big, like 15 meters wide. We returned to the base not long after. My superior gave me the rank of captain because I did a great performance. This gave me access to a very secret operation. Superior wanted to use that machine to travel back in time and send out our best strategies to stop the operation of our people. I was scared. We didn't know anything about time travel. The machine wasn't finished yet, but it didn't matter. I had to do this for my people. I entered the capsule and looked around. It was big, with many smaller capsules, and a big rotor in the center, probably to get energy from nuclear waste or something like that. After a tedious calibration, I got covered with strange yellow liquid that started to change its color to a dark blue. Everything disappeared. I was in a dark place. I didn't see anything. But then, a small bright entity appeared. I didn't know what that creature was, but it began to talk. His voice was sweet but strong. At the beginning, I didn't understand him. He was making strange noises, but after a few minutes, he started to talk in a language. What are you doing? This is the 50th time I see you here. I was shocked and breathless. Why are you saying this to me? He told me the awful reality. This wasn't my first trip in time. I had done that more than 50 times. It's an infinite loop. I appear in the front of that ship, I join the revolution, I steal the machine, and travel again and again in time. The entity told me that a high amount of troubles might cause an ignition of the core of the Earth. In the past, there wasn't a ship and a planet covered with lava. There was only operation and a revolution, and of course, that time machine. But one of these attempts to travel back and stop this operation destroyed the core of the Earth, forcing the human race to leave this own home. The reason why I didn't remember anything of my past when I traveled on time is because I malfunctioned, making the strategy of my superior useless. But after a long explanation, the entity proposed me that if I stay there, in that dark place with a light or any life signal, he can repair the problems made by traveling in time. I didn't know why this is possible. He said that if I don't exist at any time, I will never steal that machine, and this can't stop the Earth's demise. I didn't want to do that. He said that he can help solve that operation problem if I stop that infinite loop. And this is the end of my story. I accepted the deal. Right now, I'm in a lightless place, without any noise or friends or food. But I'm realizing something. My body is starting to get illuminated like that strange creature that I saw before.